Shalom, Israel, and guests. Welcome back to Each One Reach One, everybody. I appreciate you joining me for part 17 in our video series, Christianity versus the Bible. That's right, Christianity versus the Bible. Christian, you heard me right? I didn't fucking stutter. You're like, what does he mean? This guy's tripping. Christianity is all about the Bible. The Bible is all about Christianity. Thus saith the Christian. Stick around, Christian, you might learn something. Pay attention. As a matter of fact, if you're just now stumbling onto this series, don't start at lesson 17 like a dumbass. Come on, have some respect for the study and for yourself. If you truly want to be edified and you're not just being nosy, go back to part 1 and watch them all in chronological order. All right? We're going to begin properly by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his blessed Son, our glorious Savior, Redeemer, and Master Yahweh Shai. All praise is due. Grace, peace, blessings, and many hearty salutations unto the elect of Israel. Let's get it on. Jeremiah chapter 23. All right, verse 1. The coming Messiah, the righteous branch. As you can see, and as you have seen, if you've been paying attention, the Messiah, the Hamashiach, our Lord Yahweh Shai, he didn't just pop up in the time of the New Testament. There was an indication that he was coming. He was spoken of all throughout the Old Testament. I mean, all throughout the Old Testament. Way back into Genesis, he's been spoken about from the beginning, quite literally. All right. So, and who was he been spoken of to? The same people who he has been speaking to. And when I say he, I mean the Father. The same group of people the Father has been speaking to since the very beginning of the book. The Israelites. Okay. Speaking to Jeremiah, the Israelite prophet, who then in turn is supposed to go to the Israelite people and relay the message from the Most High. Okay. And so he was given information, prophecy about the coming of Hamashiach Yahushua. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith Yahweh. Did I lose you already, Christians? You guys jump off the ship already? You heard what I said. Let's read it again. Don't get scared. I know. Yeah, I know. You're definitely scared of this Old Testament. But pay attention. Okay? Pay attention. Woe be unto the pastors. What is woe? Destruction, right? Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. That doesn't refer to you Christians. You Christians are not the sheep of the Most High's pasture. The Israelites are. So all of you people, when you're in church and you're looking around and you see those so-called Negroes in there, right? And you're seeing the sheep of the Most High's pasture. Your pastors, this is speaking to them. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. How are they, your pastors, destroying the sheep of the Most High's pasture? Biblical Israel. How are they doing it? By teaching a doctrine which he had not given. By teaching Jesus. Jesus is not his son. That is your God, white folks. That was your creation. That was your way of pushing white supremacy when you guys went around conquering. That's what you did. You whitewashed history, turned all the ancient people from dark-skinned people to white people to mislead the world into believing that you guys are the ancients. Woe be unto the pastors. Woe be unto your pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of the Most High's pasture. But not only that, see, you need to be concerned, Christians, because however goes the pastor, the sheep of his flock must follow in his same destruction. You all who fill the churches, who fill those collection plates, you are the sheep of that pastor's pasture, his flock. You follow false prophets, you have to share in the false prophet's reward. Verse 2, therefore, thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, said Yahweh. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Listen to what he's saying. I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Remember those northern kingdom Israelites that I keep telling you about in the New Testament that were the Gentiles? This is the reason why Paul and the other disciples went to Greece and went to all these other lands to go speak to these Gentiles. These Gentiles were not Gentiles by blood, they were Gentiles by practice. These were the scattered of his flock that he drove away. Okay? These were the scattered of his flock, the scattered of Israel. How do we know that that's who it was? Because he said that he's going to gather them from everywhere that he drove them. So they weren't all in the same place. They were not together. They were spread out in different places where he drove them, right? Right. And what did the Hamashiach say when he came? I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. What did the Most High say he was going to do right here? He told you what he's going to do. I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. So this is the Father in the Old Testament saying, I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries. And in the New Testament, his son shows up saying, I've been sent by my Father to come gather the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what he said. Pair that with what the Father is saying here. And then I have to ask you a question again. How in the fuck do you put yourself into this equation? This makes no sense, Christian. None. You just gonna disregard what the Most High, what the Father says, right? And then you're gonna disregard what his son says when he shows up. He claimed to love his son. He claimed to worship him, right? But you don't even obey what he says. You don't show any regard for what he said out of his own mouth. Nah, Jesus. Nah, man. That ain't even right. I think you tripping. You've been drinking that Jesus juice again. What are you doing? Out here fucking up, man. That's not what you meant to say. He was just drunk. Y'all know he liked that wine. He didn't really mean to say that. Motherfucking Christians. You stupid motherfuckers, man. You disrespectfully stupid motherfuckers, man. Disrespecting my power, disrespecting my Father, and disrespecting my master, Yahweh Shai. In so many ways. turn him into a white man, attributing a doctrine to him that he did not bring, putting words in his mouth, changing the words that came out of his mouth, disregarding what he said in favor of your own doctrine, of your own feelings. You just created your own belief system out of thin fucking air. Doesn't matter what's in the book. Doesn't matter. You don't care. You don't care. You don't care that your pastors and your preachers, your false prophets are leading you astray. You don't care. You rather be ignorant. You rather be led off the mountain than to admit what's in this book because it doesn't make you feel comfortable. You rather be blind, blindly guided by the blind guides, right to your destruction. You are being led as lambs to the slaughter. Do you care about your end? Your end is near. Do you care how it ends for you? If you do, you better listen up. And you might want to take some action at the conclusion of this matter, because you will be held accountable. Ignorance is no excuse. He will not allow you to plead ignorance. This is the reason why he has his men like me out here yelling this right now, because this is the end. This is the end. And before he does something, he announces it. He's announcing your judgment, all you Gentiles, by blood, all you heathens, all you Gentiles by practice, aka you 2/3 of the house of Israel. It's just because you're Israel, don't take this lightly. Don't be over there smiling too hard. Don't be smiling too hard. All that cheesing, doing all that cheesing over there, boy. You ain't even liking this milk. You feel me? You don't want this milk. You know what I mean? You lactose intolerant. This shit right here don't vibe right with your body, does it? You don't want shit to do with this, huh? Y'all like what I did right there? Mm-hmm. I know this moves your spirit the wrong way because you're convicted, just like the heathens. You will share in their judgment. Okay? Join hand in hand with them if you want to. Refuse to let them go if you want to. Deny the Father if you want to. Deny his Son, his proper name if you want to. When you deny his name and you call him Jesus, you are denying him. Plain and simple. And you will get dealt with. All right? All right, now back to the scriptures. I've been going off for a minute, but that's just the Spirit leading me, man, because he had a message. He had a message. Now back to the scripture. All right? I hope you guys got that, because that wasn't me. That was him that's within me. I'm just his mouthpiece. I give no thought to what I'm going to say when I'm doing these recordings. I trust him when he's saying, I'm going to be your counselor. I'm going to put my words in your mouth. And that's what he does. I'm just the avatar. Hope you're listening. Verse 4. And I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. Y'all hear that? Well, see, let's go back to verse 3, because I just want this to flow smoothly. I want you guys to see the picture, all right? I'm trying to paint the picture for you. This is prophecy. He's telling you what is to come. What he's forecasting right now, he's forecasting the days of his son's coming, all right? I will gather the remnant of my flock. You know that his flock is Israel. So he's telling you plainly, I'm going to gather the remnant of Israel, my people, out of all countries whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall be lacking, saith Yahweh. How did he do this? Did he do this? Yes, he did. How? Via the apostles and disciples of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai during the New Testament period when he came. he came and he picked out the men, the shepherds, who the Most High, the Father, had already appointed. He didn't just come looking for random people. He went to the people that were already chosen. He knew who they were from times past. These people were already selected to be apostles and disciples. This was not happenstance. It was not a coincidence. He didn't just do it randomly. Okay? The Most High selected people. He said, I will set up shepherds over them. The Father said, I will set up shepherds over them. That means they were selected by the Father. And his Son came and went to grab those guys who the Father set up aforetime. Okay? These were the apostles and the disciples once again. Once again. All right? Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch. Now, this is projecting. This is going into the future. From the New Testament, this springs forward into the future, into the present time, right now. This is about right now. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and the king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. The righteous branch is Yahweh Shai. Right? The days come, and the days have come. The days are here that our Father is raising up unto King David, a righteous branch from his seed line. A king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. We are awaiting his coming. We are awaiting his coming. We are paving the way for his coming. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing here. We are preparing the way. You guys better get ready. In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. Why am I emphasizing this? Because in this time, he's going to recover all those that were scattered. As he told you, you only hear about the Jews, right? Right now, all you hear about over there in the land is Jews, 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 Jews. But you hear jack shit, absolutely nothing, bupkis about the other 10 tribes. Nothing. The Most High says he's going to recover Israel and Judah, the remnant thereof. He's going to bring them together into one fold, and he's going to make them dwell safely. But if they are the people and they have fulfilled prophecy, where in the fuck are the other tribes? Where are they? If they are the people, where the fuck are the other tribes, man? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. But it says, in his days, his who? The righteous branch, Yahweh Shai. In his days, when he's here, right? Judah shall be saved. That's us. So-called Negroes will be saved. And Israel, the other 10 tribes, right? Other 10 tribes shall dwell safely. And this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. That's our Mashiach. Therefore, behold, the days come. We already covered what that means. Saith Yahweh, the Father, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed. You hear this? Not the spiritual people, the seed, meaning bloodline, meaning sperm. Get it? Genetics is involved here, right? Not Christians, not those who take Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior. That's not what he says, right? Which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country and from all countries, whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. That has not occurred yet. It has not. Again, if you guys want to keep saying that those people over there are the people and they fulfill prophecy, he said he mentioned Israel. He's going to bring Israel out of another country. Where are the fucking other tribes? Where are all the tribes? Why is there only one? They're supposed to be all of them. All 12 tribes are supposed to be together. The remnant. And the rest are supposed to have been destroyed by this time. If that was the case, but you don't see that. You don't see that. Because they have manufactured false prophecy. The Most High, through this word, is showing them to be liars. He's showing them to be, he's proving them to be liars. He's making it evident who have the correct doctrine, who has the correct doctrine, and who the liars are, who his children are, and who the bastards are. Speaking of which, false prophets denounced. Verse 9, mine heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because of Yahweh, and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of adulterers. For because of swearing the land mourneth, the pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force not right. For both prophet and priest are profane, yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, saith Yahweh. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein, for I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, saith Yahweh. And see here, he's talking about his people. He's talking about the prophets and priests of his own people. And he's telling you what he's going to do to them for what they've done in leading his children astray. If he did this to his own children, who led his other children astray, what in the fuck do you think is the end of you, Gentile, heathen, Christian? What do you think? This is important for you to understand the character of the Most High, how he gets down. He did not bring this judgment on his people and then he's going to spare you. You think he's going to judge harshly the people that he loved dearly for messing up and then spare you, those that he hates? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Verse 16. Thus saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. Hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. Hey, Christians, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of the Lord Yahweh. They say still unto them that despise me. The Lord Yahweh hath said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. Is that not what your preachers say to you? They prophesy sweet things to you when you go to church. Talk to you gently, preach this gospel of love and inclusion, and everything's going to be all right. That's what they preach to you, right? Contrary to the book. Contrary to the actual gospel. That doctrine is the doctrine of men, evil, wicked men. And all of you who partake, you will share in the false prophet's reward. I say again to you, you will share in the false prophet's reward. For who has stood in the counsel of the Lord Yahweh and hath perceived and heard his word? Who hath marked his word and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord Yahweh is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of the Lord Yahweh shall not return. What does that mean? meaning he's not going to change his mind. He's not going to stop it. He's not going to say, I'm going to bring this upon you and then change his mind. When he sends his word out, when he says he's going to do something, he does it. That's it. Whatever leaves his mouth must be done. The anger of Yahweh shall not return. It shall not be turned back until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. You hear that? Are you listening? See, that's the scary part. I know you probably tuned out right there at that part. You don't want to hear that, right? Until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days, ye shall consider it perfectly. Here we are in the latter days. This is the time when you shall consider it perfectly. This is the time when he's going to open the eyes of you Gentiles and you heathens. This word is supposed to go forth to you. You're supposed to hear this. He's talking to you. Here again, the anger of Yahweh shall not return, Christian, until he hath executed, until he hath performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days, right now, you shall consider it perfectly. This was meant for you in this time. I have not sent these prophets. You hear them? You hear them? You hear what he's saying? He's talking about your beloved preacher. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken unto them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings. This is how you know your preachers haven't received counsel from the Father, because if they had, they would have been given the power and the ability to cause the people to turn from their evil way, because that's what he prophesied to happen at the mouth of his prophets in the latter days. So if your prophets is not turning people away from Jesus, if they're not turning people away from evil, but instead they do evil themselves and teach you of their flock to do the same, they have not stood in the counsel of the Most High, Yahweh. Am I a God at hand, saith Yahweh, and not a power afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, saith Yahweh? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith Yahweh? I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name. God told me. Yeah, sure. I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I had a dream. God sent me a dream, and he told me to tell you. He ain't telling him shit. Not a single damn word did he utter to these people. I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams. You hear this? Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. The prophet that hath a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that hath my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, saith Yahweh? Is not my word like as a fire, saith Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Listen, what do you think he's saying? My word is harsh. My word is hard. It's not soft and sweet and gentle. My word is like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. So all of those preachers, all of those shepherds speaking to you softly, speaking those good words, soft words, and pleasant words of prosperity, the prosperity gospel. That's not of the Most High. That is not his doctrine. He have not sent them to preach that unto you. Those are con men hustling you, spiritually pimping you, pulpit pimping. Who gets pimped? Hoes. Oh, I'm sorry. Whores, harlots. You folks are whores and spiritual harlots getting pimped by good old pastor, preacher, pimping himself. And you love to have it so. You love to have it so. Behold, I am against the prophets, saith Yahweh, that use their tongues and say, he saith. That's what they do. God said, God revealed to me in a dream, and he told me to say to the people, send in your tithes and everything's going to be all right. If you pay your tithes right, everything's going to be all right. If you pay your tithes, right? Wrong. That shit's crazy. Pulpit pimping. Boy, boy, boy. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith Yahweh, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their likeness. By their likeness. See, that's the delivery. That's that soft delivery. That's that sweet delivery that they come with to get your guards down, to make you feel like they're righteous people because they gave you a nice soft delivery. See, the same thing that have you feeling like I'm not ordained to do this, and you feel like I'm not anointed to do this, I'm not called to do this because the way that I talk to you, see, because you've been taught to believe that a real prophet of the Most High is going to come to you speaking softly and sweetly, and they ain't going to curse at you. They ain't going to curse to you. They going to come light and handle you with kid gloves. That's what you want? You want me to talk to you like this? Will it make you feel better if I talk to you like this? And I said, you know, God is going to come and he's going to fuck you up. Will you accept it better if I spoke like that? Does the message change? Will you feel better if I spoke the same message but spoke to you lightly like that? Will you feel better? You want me to rock you, huh? You want me to coddle you? Come on in. Fuck that. That ain't what I'm here for. That ain't what I'm here for. Go to Pastor Pimpin for that dumb shit. That ain't my job. I got this hammer. Boo, yow. There goes the rock. You dig what I'm saying? Yo, rock ass fucking head, you dumbass bastard. 'Tis the season for fucking y'all up. Be hard-headed. Get that hammer. That breaketh the rock in pieces. The strong voice, the strong word of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. How you like that? How you like that? Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith Yahweh, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies. That's the most important thing that he cares about, is his people being led astray. And since slavery, since the early days of the Christian church and the conquest, you people, you Gentiles, you heathens have been using your Jesus doctrine to beat in pieces the children of the Most High, his people, causing his people to err by your lies and by your likeness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore, they shall not profit this people at all, saith Yahweh. And when this people, or the prophet, or a priest shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of the Lord Yahweh? Thou shalt then say unto them, what burden? I will even forsake you, saith Yahweh. I will even forsake you, saith Yahweh. And as for the prophet, and peace, and peace, and priests, and the people that shall say, the burden of Yahweh, I will even punish that man and his house. You folks are in trouble. Bottom line, trouble, trouble. There's no way to escape it. You can't get out of it. He told you. He sent his word and it will not return. He sent his anger out and it will not return. You better learn how to believe him when he speaks. You better stop thinking that you can get out of it by calling on Jesus. Jesus is your downfall, your destruction. That name will be the root of your destruction. Just remember I told you this, okay? Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 9. Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith Yahweh, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them and make them in astonishment and in hissing and perpetual desolations. Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones and the light of the candle. And this whole land shall be desolation and an astonishment. And these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. And it shall come to pass when 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, saith Yahweh, for their iniquity in the land of the Chaldeans, and I will make it perpetual desolations. Why am I bringing this out? What is the point of this scripture right here? Each one, reach one. It's showing you the pattern of the Most High, showing you what he has done in times past, because you can't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. You can't know what to expect from someone unless you have a record and know the record of their doings. That will give you an understanding of what's to come. How does he handle things? How does he respond? How does he judge? What things does he hate? What things did he have a habit of punishing? If he punished those things back then, he will punish them now. This is why history is important, for you to understand the present and the future. He didn't stop hating these things in the Old Testament. He still hates the same things. And he punished the nation that he brought against his people. The same nation he brought to come and break his people, he broke that nation. He turned around and punished that nation. Why am I saying this? Because you got to understand how he works. He used you, other nations, to break in pieces his people, to take us captive into all the lands of the earth. And his promise is that he's going to break you, same people, when he raises his people up. You got to know what he does to know what he's going to do. Okay? This is how he gets down. This is his habit. This is his pattern. You should, any weapon, every weapon that he's used against his people, he's destroyed that weapon. And you other nations were merely weapons to be used for the correction of his children. And once he restores his children, He's going to use his children as the weapon to destroy you. Bottom line. Let's continue on. Verse 13. And I will bring upon that land all my words which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah hath prophesied against all the nations. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also. Listen. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands. Promise. See, this promise extended beyond Babylon, beyond Nebuchadnezzar, extended to all the kingdoms of the earth that would serve themselves of his people. His promise is that I will recompense them according to their deeds as a nation, and according to the works of their own hands. Regeneration. No one ever perishes being innocent. The Most High keeps a record. He knows you now. He knew you your last go round. He knew you the time before that. He knew you every instance that you've ever existed. He knew you. He has a record of all your deeds, and he will recompense you according to your deeds, according to the works of your own hands. He will deal with you. Verse 15, for thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, unto me, Jeremiah, the prophet of Israel, take the wine cup of his fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. Let's get that again. For thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. What is he saying? What is he saying? That Jeremiah is going to go into more than one captivity. That he's going to be used as a prophet. A prophet is always a prophet. To prophesy unto different nations in different time periods of their destruction. The prophets are back right now, doing the same thing we've always done, prophesying to the nations, their destruction. What he had to do then, I'm doing now. I've taken the wine cup of his fury from his hand, and I'm causing all you nations to whom he sent me, to whom's listening, to drink it. You have to drink of this cup. You have to drink. And listen what he says, and they shall drink. Not they might, they might refuse it. No, and they shall drink, meaning you can't get out of it. You can't escape. You can't call on Jesus and get out of it. There is no hope for you, no salvation, no rapture, just capture. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. It's happening in the land right now. These people are gone mad. Why? What makes you people think? What reason? What other thing do you think is the cause of these people storming their own Capitol building? You see what's going on in all the lands? You see how fucking deranged and crazy the people are going and depraved they've become? Haven't you noticed that all of the things that used to be quote unquote ghetto actions, Negro actions, things that the white folks used to say, look at those niggers. What's happening right now? They're the new niggers. They're doing all the shit that we used to be forced to do when we had the curses. Can't you see who has the curses now? Can't you see who have the curses now? You can't tell that the curses are on them. See, they're trying to hide the fact that the curses have switched to them. That's why they have this whole new mantra. We're all in this together. They don't want us to notice what's happening to them. They want to take the attention of what's happening to them. They don't want anybody to know because their own people would freak the fuck out. Would freak the fuck out and do shit like storm capitals. because they're a base people returning to their lower stature. They are returning. They are devolving back to which they've come from. They're turning back into apes, back into cavemen, back into Neanderthals. This is what's happening. And their people, their leadership, they know this is what happened to their people because they know from which they came. And they know they're going back, and they're trying to delay and slow it up and prevent absolute chaos from their own people. So they're trying to hide it from their own people, because otherwise their people would panic. But they already have the spirit of panic because the Most High has done it. He's done what he said he would do. They shall drink and be moved. If they're being moved, they have drunk the cup and they're being moved in the spirit, agitated, depressed. They got anxiety, experiencing terrors. They have gone mad because of the sword that he has sent among them. Sword is just another word for weapon. His different weapons that he used to deal with different people. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand and made all the nations to drink, unto whom Yahweh has sent me, to wit, Jerusalem, and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation, and astonishment, and hissing, and a curse, as it is this day. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azar, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom, and Moab, and the children of Ammon, and all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan, and Tema, and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners, and all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth. See, the Most High, regeneration, the Most High sent him in different instances, different generations, sent him spiritually, sent him, revived him, brought him back. He had a job to do throughout different generations to go into all these nations and pronounce judgment against them, cause them to have to drink from the cup of the Most High's wrath. He's back now doing the same thing. That's his lot. That is his lot. Therefore, verse 27, therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. No fucking choice is what he's saying. You have no fucking choice. Ye shall certainly drink. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, Israel, his people. And should ye be utterly unpunished? You see what I'm saying? He said exactly what I've been telling you. He said, I'm going to bring evil upon my own people. You think you going to fucking get away? And I'm going to bring evil upon them, but you think you're going to get off. You think you can call on Jesus and be okay, but I'm going to punish my people? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. I've been saying this the whole time. Here he is with his own words. For lo, I bring evil upon the city, which is called by my name. I bring evil upon my own chosen, my beloved. I bring evil on them. And should you be utterly unpunished, you shall not be unpunished. For I will call, maybe call, might call. No, well, I'll only call them unless Jesus comes and saves you from me. No, that ain't what he said. For I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. What sword is that? Oh boy, that's Israel. Those are his sons that he's going to turn into gods who will have the might and the power and be sent to destroy all you inhabitants of the earth. These folks have been having nightmares about the day the Israelites transformed into gods again. They've been creating all these comic books, you know what I mean? All of these things where they've been imagining all of these powers and superpowers and everything else. They get this from the book. They've been imagining us, the Israelites, with superpowers. That's what they've been doing. These people aren't creative. They didn't just imagine this shit. Just about everything that you see is inspired by this book. Therefore, prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, Yahweh shall roar from on high and utter his voice from his holy habitation. What does that mean? Utter his voice from his holy habitation. What is his holy habitation? His men. His tabernacle is his men, or his men. He utters his voice through us. He's uttering his voice right now. His holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. Like I said, I'm just an avatar. This is him in me. His spirit is moving me. This is his voice. Him doing what he said he would do. Roaring from on high, uttering his voice from his holy habitation. You think they're talking about up in the sky. No, we his holy people. He dwelleth within us. He's uttered his voice through us. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. For Yahweh hath a controversy with the nations. This message is being broadcast, is going throughout all the ends of the earth. Because of this internet, the Most High had these people put this internet together so that we can speak one to another, so that we can fulfill his prophecy. Everything that's been done in this earth has been done at his command for his purpose. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for Yahweh hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh, not beg. That's not what he means. That means he's going to deal with you. He's going to deal with you. And I don't mean like play cards. Ain't going to be no spades. No, none of that. No, wait a minute, I'll take that back. It will be I declare war. That's going to be the game. Oh boy. You see what I'm saying? That's him. That's him. That's his card game of choice with you people. When he deal with you, y'all gonna be playing a card game with the Most High. A good old game of I declare war. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. You seeing it happen right now? Do you see the evil going forth from nation to nation? Do you see it? And a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. Now, you want to tell me again that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son? You want to say that again? You still believe that? Where? Where does it say? Where does it justify that belief? I haven't seen it. Howl, ye shepherds, and cry, and wallow yourselves in the ashes, ye principal of the flock, for the days of your slaughter and of your dispersions are accomplished, and ye shall fall like a pleasant vessel. And the shepherds shall have no way to flee, nor the principal of the flock to escape. You hear that? The shepherds shall have no way to flee. That's why they've been killed off. They're going to die. They aren't going to be raptured. They're going to die. Nor the principal of the flock to escape. That is you. Christians, a voice of the cry of the shepherds and the howling of the principal of the flock shall be heard, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoiled their pasture. And the peaceable habitations are cut down because of the fierce anger of Yahweh. All of your peaceable habitations. War is coming to you. Famine is coming to you. The sword is coming to you. There shall be no more peace for you. All of your blessings gone. They're crumbling. They're going to be snatched. Just wait. If you haven't been brought to ruin and to dust yet, just wait. He hath forsaken his covert as the lion, for their land is desolate because of the fierceness of the oppressor and because of his fierce anger. He dealt fiercely with his own people. Should you go unpunished? Nope. Nope. You will drink of that cup. You shall drink. You certainly shall drink. He said, certainly shall drink. All right, let's skip ahead to Jeremiah chapter 30. Start at verse 1. Listen to this. Look at the title. Deliverance from captivity. You see this P word? You see that? Promised. What do we learn about his word? His word is faithfulness and truth, right? He's been telling you a story. You've been hearing about their fall, the fall of the Israelites, what they've done, what we did, what our judgment would be, how he would deal with us, how he would correct us, how he would punish us. But what would be the end of us? Would he throw us away? Would he punish us and then cast us off and then bring in the people he once hated and make them his new people if they just call on Jesus? No. His promise, remember, his promise is a cash check, is to deliver his people from captivity. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah, the Israelite prophet, from Yahweh, the Israelite God, the power of Israel, saying, thus speaketh Yahweh, the power of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah. When he says bring again, that means he's going to take it away. He's going to take away the captivity of his people, Israel and Judah. See, notice they're being spoken of as separate entities because you have the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, the 10 tribes and the other 2 tribes. Right? I will take away the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah. Not my people, the Christians. That's not what he says. Not my people, spiritual Israel. That's not what he says. My people, Israel and Judah. He constantly says he's gonna take away the captivity of his people, Israel and Judah. Never says he's gonna throw them away. So if he's not gonna throw them away, and those people over there are the people, where the fuck are the other 10 tribes, as I keep asking? Nobody's answering that question. Why are you not asking yourselves that question? Why do you not care? Where are the people? Why are they still missing? Why are they left out of prophecy? If prophecy had been fulfilled over there, why are they missing and left out? Because they aren't the people. They have not fulfilled prophecy over there. We are the people. You can't understand the book if you don't understand correctly who the people are. And if you don't understand correctly who the people are, you're going to be in gross error, because he said he will bless those that bless Israel and curse those that curse Israel. If you don't know who to bless, you might end up cursing the people you're supposed to have been blessing the entire time, therefore bringing a curse upon your own head. And guess what? That's exactly what you did. And his promise was to curse those that curse Israel, right? Right. So now, considering yourselves, everything that you guys have done to the so-called African American, the so-called Negroes, to the so-called black man, consider it. Consider it in yourselves. All right. And I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Again, if those people have fulfilled prophecy in 1948, where the fuck are the other tribes? You guys can't answer that. You don't have an answer. There isn't one. Not a good one. Not by your own estimation, because according to your estimation, they're the people. So you can't properly dissect that situation and come up with a logical answer. There isn't one. And these are the words that Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Why? Because of the day that's to come. Because he's telling you about how you guys are to be fucking scared to death. You guys are going to be in pain, in agony, like a woman in labor. When he reveals who his chosen are, when he reveals who his actual people are. And you guys have to consider everything that you've done to his people. You're going to be in pain, like a woman in labor. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. This is the time. This is that time period. The time is great. None like it. This is a time unlike any other time in world history. Things are happening right now that have never happened before, that have never transpired. Great evils and wickedness abound on the earth. A day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Listen, he shall be saved out of it. And there's a false doctrine out there, by certain people who have not, the oil and don't have the true understanding that says that there is no Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is past. There is no Jacob's trouble to come. They don't understand Jacob's trouble is the time of the great trouble of the 2/3. They're still Jacob, and they got a great period of trouble coming. A great period of trouble coming, because they have to drink that cup too, because they are the Israelites that didn't repent in the ancient world when repentance was offered. They have to go through a time of great trouble, because the Most High said all of Israel shall be saved, but through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom, right? And the portion of his people that didn't go through great tribulation and die for the testimony of Hamashiach Yahushai in the ancient world, they have to go through it in this world. They have to pass through the fire in order to enter the kingdom, because they must pass through the fire in order to enter the kingdom, because they're going to. All of Israel will make it to the kingdom, but the 2/3 have to get their trouble. They have to get their time of trouble. They have to get their judgment. They have to pass through the fire in order to be made worthy of being in the kingdom. A remnant of his people, 1/3, a small group of his people that repented back then and cling to his son. Those are the ones that he's referring to here when he says, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. He's talking about the seed of Israel. He said, it shall come to pass in that day, the day to come. We're approaching those days right now. We're almost there. It shall come to pass. It will come to pass. Remember, it shall come to pass means it's my word, Israel. This is my promise to you. I will break his yoke. Here's who? Our oppressors. Our oppressors. The Most High promised that he will break the yoke from off our necks. He's going to remove us from captivity. And I will burst thy bonds. And strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. They're not going to be able to live off us and break our backs and eat off of our talents, our skills, and our labor anymore. They're not going to be able to oppress us anymore. He's going to give us the power of godhood, so that them and all their military might and power will be no match against us. They're no longer going to be able to serve themselves of us. We're going to be gods. But they shall serve Yahweh their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. He's done this. He's done this. David's here. He has been raised up unto us. And we've already begun to gather around him. We're already serving. We're falling in line. We're getting in order. The way has been made for the manifestation of the Most High's word to come to full fruition. Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. His promise to save Israel and Judah, all 12 tribes, not just Judah, all the seed. His promise. So if he promised to save all the people, how does it make sense to you that he only came to Judah in the New Testament and then went to non-Israelites to go bring them into the fold? Instead of going to recover Israel like he said he would do, he just skipped past Israel and went and got a spiritual Israel instead of getting the actual Israel like he promised. That doesn't make any fucking sense. He said, I will save thee from far, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. They're not going to be able to make us afraid when we're given God status. There's nothing they're going to be able to do against us. We're going to be made immortal. That's why we're never going to be afraid. It won't be possible to kill us. For I am with thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee. You hear that? Let's get that again. For I am with thee, Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh. Why? To save thee. That's his promise. Though I make a full end of all nations. You hear that? A full end of all nations. Not some nations. I make a full end, not a partial end, a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee. You should be scared. Everywhere the so-called Negro, the so-called African American was taken captive, was taken as slaves, all those nations will be brought to a full end. Yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. See, he promised to chastise his children, correct us in measure, correct us throughout all our generations. He corrected us. He got us right. That's what those punishments were about. It was correction. It wasn't him throwing us away. It was him using different lifetimes to get us in order. For thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. See, he's talking about us. See, and he said our lovers, he's talking about all the other nations that, we wanted to cling to, all the other nations that we wanted to be down with, and we wanted to have relationships with, and, we wanted to mingle with them and be part of them instead of being separate like he told us. Instead of being gods and being rulers over them, we wanted to be like them. Wow. Imagine that. All thy lovers, all the other nations that you chose to run after, Israel, have forgotten thee. Look at us, haven't they? Haven't they? Don't it seem like we're forgotten people? That none of the other nations even like us? They don't care about us. Nobody gives a fuck about Israel. The real Israel. Nobody gives a fuck about Israel. We have been forgotten. They forgot they forgot the relationships we used to have with them. All the great stuff that we did for them. They forgot all of it. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one. These people, the cruel ones, he used them to chastise us, the cruel ones. Look at them, look at our history, everything that these people did to us, the evils, the cruelty that we faced at their hands. For the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. We deserved it. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. You hear that? Look how he switches. He goes from telling us that what he did to us, we deserved it. We did it to ourselves. He tells us what we did to get us to get in trouble. Right? He's saying, look what I did to you because you pissed me off. Right? But then look how it switches. He goes from talking about that to talking about what he's gonna do to those who he sent to devour us. Listen, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. Shall be. You know what that means? You know the power in those words when he puts those words together. Shall be, shall come to pass. That's his promise. All they that devoured the Israelites shall be devoured. And all thine adversaries, every one of them, no, some of them, because not all of them were bad people. Every one of them, well, not all of them had slaves. Every one of them shall go into captivity. Every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. Get back. The Most High is all about revenge. He allows you guys to run rampant on us, but guess what? He promised get back. Oh boy, he promised revenge. He's going to turn us loose. He's going to turn us up and turn us loose. You guys are going to have a pissed off Israel on your hand. A people turned into gods is what you're going to have to contend with. Not mere mortals, not mere men. You're going to have to deal with the wrath of many gods, the children of the highest. Yikes. Wouldn't want to be you. I've read posts before from people saying, man, I wake up every day and thank God that I'm not Black. I've seen it. Every time there's a video of police killing Black folks, so-called Black folks, I always see my air quotes when I say that. I read the comments and there's always a person in there saying, thank God I'm not Black. I thank God all the time that I don't wake up Black, that I'm not Black. I just thank him all the time. I hear this all the time. These people think it was a blessing to be them and not be us. But can you blame them for thinking that? From what they know, it was a blessing to be them and a curse to be us. That's because they knew not the counsel of the Most High. They knew not his thoughts. They had no idea that they were given blessings for a short time. And we were given curses for a short time. And our blessings are for an eternity. And their curses are for an eternity. So I would like to ask those people out there who have ever had that thought, do you still feel the same? If you can put yourselves in our shoes and go through everything that we went through, knowing what we have to gain, would you trade places with us? I wouldn't want to trade places with you. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. Knowing what I know now, I would go and start over from the beginning, doing it all over again, go through every captivity, all of the judgment, everything that we had to go through, I'll do it all again. Knowing what the end result is, knowing the end game. I mean, technically, if I knew what I knew now, then I would act better. I would stay in line. I wouldn't mess up the way I did, obviously, in times past. But you guys know what I'm saying. I wouldn't change a single thing. I would never want to trade my position. I would never want to not be an Israelite. I would never. We have the greatest gift and treasure known to man. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. All they that prey upon thee will I give for prey. All they that prey upon thee will I give for prey. For I will restore health unto thee, not throw thee away. I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they call thee an outcast. Is that what they call us? Saying, this is Zion, who no man seeketh after. Yeah, we were. We were the people that no man seeketh after. Nobody wanted to be like us. I mean, they wanted to be like us, but nobody wanted to be us. Nobody truly wanted to stand with us. Restoration of Jacob. We all know what restoration means. To be restored, not thrown away. To his promise. He constantly reiterates his promise. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. His tents means dwellings, means everywhere they live. Right? Every nation, all 12 tribes. That's what this means. Right? Each tribe is a tent. So all of Jacob's tents, all of Jacob's tribes. Right? He said, I will bring again. What does bring again mean? We went over that, right? Right, class? Yes, it means that he will take away the captivity of all of Jacob's tents, not some, not just 2 tribes, not just 3 tribes, all 12. I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. I will take away their captivity and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will glorify them, and they shall not be small. We are going to be a mighty people again. There will be many of us, many, because the Lord's men are going to be making babies like it's a factory. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be putting rabbits to shame. You dig what I'm saying? For real. The nightmare of the Gentiles come true. It's going to happen. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. I will punish all that oppress them. And their nobles shall be of themselves, meaning our rulers shall be of themselves, meaning we won't be ruled over by other nations anymore. All of our rulers will be Israelites. We will be governing ourselves. There will be no other nations above us or included in our rulership or governorship. And their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. And I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who was this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh? Listen to his promise, listen to his word. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Yours, Israel, not yours, Christians. Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord Yahweh goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. What people are running the world? You are the wicked. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return. You hear that? The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return. Until when? Until he have done it. And until he have performed the intents of his heart. Listen, in the latter days, right now, meaning right now, ye shall consider it. Are you considering it now, Christian? Can you hear him now? Can you hear me now? Is he coming in? Is he clear to you? Judgment, not rapture. Judgment, not escape from tribulation. Yahweh Shai, not Jesus. Israel, Judah, not Christians. Fight back, Christianity. The Bible whooping your ass, fucking you up. Pick up your doctrine off the floor. Tell them to wake up. You want to go night-nighting? Who want to go night-nighting? You got knocked the fuck out. Get your ass up, Christianity. Sitting there laying there and shit. Where the fuck is your Jesus at? Why he hiding? Why you out here getting fucked up? Thought he loved you. Got you out here taking this ass whooping for him. Tell him to get his ass out here and face your Howard Shine. Shit, Jesus has blessed the chat. Oh, man. This lesson is done, man. Let's put a bow tie on this right here, man, and call it a wrap. All right? Let us give all praise, honor, and much glory to Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. All praises due to the Holy One of Israel, to his son, the Redeemer of Israel. Shout out to my family out there, the elect of Israel, the real Israel of the Most High. I hope you guys were edified. No, I don't hope you guys were edified. I pray that you were edified. I don't like to hope. There's no need to hope when I have the power of prayer. I pray that you guys were all edified, that the Most High comes and he waters the seeds that are planted. He causes them to take root inside of you, to blossom and bring forth fruit within you. I'll see you guys on the next one, all right? You guys hang tight. Walk in your liberty out there. Shalom.